Clan TV, sponsored by Wellbeing Communications. Two big games coming up this weekend as the Clan take on Fife Flyers and Hull Stingrays. Joining us to look ahead to those matches, as you can see, is the head coach, Ryan Finnerty. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Firstly, 3 wins in a row began 2015 and all against the Garnet Conference opposition. Could you have begun the new year any better?
Yeah, it's always nice when you can get off to a good start in the new year. It's 3 tough games, 2 on the road. But I thought we played pretty well for the most part. We had some lulls obviously on Friday. We didn't play that good, but we grinded out a win. And anytime you get a win, I said before, anytime you walk out with a win in Fife, you got to be happy. And then Saturday was a tough game. Dundee came in, they were under strength, and they sat back and trapped most of the night. And you got to do that when you don't have the bodies, and Hutchie obviously put that game plan in. We struggled to get inside on them. We struggled to capitalize on our opportunity. We outplayed them for the majority of the game, but it was a lot tighter than it needed to be, and wasn't as exciting as we'd normally like it to be, especially at home in front of a big crowd. But those things are kind of out of our control, and they happen. And then I thought we put a pretty good performance on in Edinburgh. And like I said before, Jonesy made some key saves to keep us with a comfortable lead there. Had they capitalized on a couple of their opportunities, I think we would have seen a different game.
Now, as you said, you began in Fife last Friday, coming away with a 4-2 win in what's relatively known as a tricky venue. How much did getting a win there in such a tough barn set you up for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, I think anytime you start off at 3-3, if you can start off with a win, you can kind of roll game to game. If you start off with a loss, it puts a ton of pressure on that second game, and you start to feel it. So we wanted to put a good performance in Fife and roll that into Saturday, irregardless of the result. We were fortunate enough to be on the winning side on Friday, and like I said, it was a bit of a different game Saturday, but again, we got a win, and then thought we played our best game of the weekend on Sunday.
Now, they followed those games with Edinburgh and Dundee. They followed them well. They ended in victory in both respects. You have alluded to the fact that they were far from easy, especially when you've just said that here. Apart from the hard work and the good game management, how much can you put it down to character as well and getting those wins?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've shown we've been a resilient bunch all year. We rarely take games off, shifts off. Guys come to play, and there's seems to be a different guy stepping up every night for us, a different line, whether it's on the offense or the defense, or whether it's Jonesy, like the case was on Sunday. We're kind of getting down the last 20 games of the season, and we talked about it, how it goes fast. We need to enjoy it. We need to enjoy where we are and embrace the challenge that's ahead. I mean, it's a 20-game playoff if you want to look at it, and it's an exciting time for everybody in the hunt. And we're looking to take it game by game and week by week here, and not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but controlling what we can control and not focusing on what's going on around us.
We're kind of touching on the next question here. As the table stands, Belfast have moved into second after 2 good wins over Sheffield Steelers last week. You just said there you're only worried about what Braehead Clan can do in game nights and focus on getting those wins. But how difficult is it not to be looking over your shoulder when you consider how close the league is?
Yeah, I still find it's way too early to be putting one game is the one that's going to win you a championship or not. We don't want to put added pressure on our guys. We want to make sure we roll out and take care of what we've done in the past, and we want to make sure that we play to our standard and play to our game and let the ball fall where it may. Going into must-win situations is a bit overwhelming, and it just puts added pressure on the guys, and a lot of times you can have a negative effect. So we want to make sure that we keep it calm, keep ourselves level-headed here, and not get too high, not to get low, as the old slogan goes. And we just want to, like I said, enjoy the moment, and then come game time, we want to capitalize and put a good effort in.
Now, you could say the remainder of the season looks favourable insofar as the fixtures are concerned. You've only got 5 journeys left to make outside of Scotland as you look down the fixtures list. Do you feel that gives you an advantage over your fellow title challengers?
It's difficult to say. I mean, if you look at the results that have gone, I think all the Gardner teams have fared well in the Earhart division. There's no easy games in this league. We see a different Fife team than probably Sheffield will see. As opposed, they probably see a different Nottingham team than we may see. And there's a lot of parity in the league. And at the end of the day, if you're not ready to play, you're not going to get the result at the end. At the end of the night, if you're not prepared to win, you're just not going to win. It doesn't matter who you're playing. So Yeah, I mean, travel-wise, I think we have a tremendous advantage, but we earned it. We spent 5 weeks on the road at the start of the year, so we've earned to have a number of home games coming up, and we want to take advantage of that now. We talked about it in September when we were making those long journeys and long trips and early morning practices an hour away. We talked how it does come back, and if we can take care of business here, we'll get rewarded for it. Now we got to capitalize on the reward because it's starting to come now with the short trips and a lot of home games.
Time for an injury update now. Matt Haywood was with me in the commentary box last week for the game against Dundee. Ryan Kavanagh's been alongside you on the bench in recent weeks as well. Both have been missed through injuries. How close are they to returning to action?
Obviously, Haywood's still a number of weeks away. He's actually getting back on the bike now, and we're getting his heart rate going and getting him back sweating here, but he's still very limited into what he can do. Kavanagh, has skated all week. He's been paired up with his D partner, and we are optimistic he will play this weekend, but we're not 100%.
Now, you brought in Jeff Smith to cover for Ryan Kavanagh and his injury. What would be the situation with Jeff then? Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, the idea with bringing Jeff in is that he's coming in as a spare import. He knew that when he was coming in. When we had brought him in, he was obviously coming in to play because we'd had some injuries to Cavi and whatnot. But yeah, I want to stay with the guys that have been here since day one. But saying that Jeff is available, he can play forward and D. And if we need him, if through injuries or through a coaching decision, we decide to put him in and get his presence in the lineup, he will be there and ready to go. So he's, like I said, he's an incredible guy, and he's a guy that once we brought him in our room, he brought a lot of character. He brought some leadership. He's well respected. The guys like him. We want him around. We really want him around here, and he's going to be a big part of it. Whether he's on the ice or off the ice, he'll be on the bench, and he'll be working with me. And then if he gets a call, if we need him, he'll be on the ice. And it's great to have that. It's great to have that understanding. So the guys know and everybody's comfortable. And like I said, he's a quality person, and that's why we're keeping him around.
Now let's look ahead to the games coming up this weekend. Fife Flyers are up first. They come here with 3 losses in a row, including that win in Kirkcaldy that Clan got last weekend. You relish these games because of the rivalry between the two teams. Is this a game where the form book goes out the window? I
think now we've seen each other so much. It's always an exciting game for the fan base. They bring a lot of fans. We bring, obviously, our building will be full. I think at this point in the season, it's all about taking care of business and finding ways to win. And we know each other in and out now. We know down to every player. They know what we do. We know what they do. It's going to be the team that executes, a team that limits their turnovers, and it'll come down to special teams and goaltending. Now
you travel to all Stingrays on Sunday, and for the most part, they're a team that Clan have done well against this season, but they're also a team that seems to have struggled for consistency this year. As opponents, how difficult a proposition does that make them?
They're tricky. They play a bit of a different style where they got some great offense. They got a lot of speed up front, and if you let them handle the puck, you're going to be on your back foot all night because they do got tremendous speed, and they got some guys that can put the puck in the net that can make some plays. We want to play in their end. We want to have a good puck management game there, and we want to make sure that we keep guys in front of us because they do cheat a bit offensively. So we want to make sure that we are responsible in our D zone, responsible in our neutral zone, and limiting our turnovers. If we manage the puck well against them and play in their end, we'll set ourselves up to have a good night. If we create turnovers, if we try to force plays, they transition well. Like I said, they're one of the fastest teams in the league, and they can hurt you, and they've done it to us in the past. So we're going to take a bit of a different game approach to the game going in there, one that we're confident that we can execute and hopefully come out of there with 2 points. But it will be a tough night.
Perhaps a bit far ahead just now, but Coventry Blaze come up in the Challenge Cup in the first leg. Next week, the team goes down to the Sky Dome for that game. Do you expect to face a different style under their new coach, Chuck Weber, than you faced under Martin Faber?
Yeah, I expect them to be a bit more, systematic. Maybe they've changed it up to adapt to their numbers. They've had a number of injuries as well. I think they're getting guys back now from injury, so you know, they were pretty depleted for a while there. I think even when Chuck went in there, they still had a number of injuries. So I think he probably changed the game style a bit to maybe a bit more passive and a bit more clogging up the neutral zone here. But they're getting back to full strength. And you know, like I said, we took a glimpse at them here this week, but we're pretty focused on the first 2 games here, and then we got you know 2.5 days to focus on Coventry after that. But I expect them to come out flying. You know, they kind of got a second life in the Challenge Cup. You know, they relied on Cardiff beating Hull, and they're going to want to capitalize on that. You know, and at home, I think it's a good opportunity for them to trying to get their season going. It's a cup that they're now well within, just like everyone else. So they're going to have a lot of motivation there. They're going to have some good jumping. We got to make sure that we can match their intensity, match their speed in that first 20, and grow into the game. And you know, obviously in the 2-game aggregate, you want to keep things tight. You know, you can't win anything on the first night. You want to keep everything tight, and you're playing a 6-period hockey game.
Best of luck this weekend, Ryan. Thanks very much.
Thank you.